Hmm. Salah jangan mau kena pulang macam itu. Halo Bang, halo Ki, udah pulang? Salah pencet. Jam kos, lo jam kos nonton. Nanti diliatin teman-temanmu lagi, tapi baterai 2, hah? Maksudnya 2%. Kenapa tadi pas berangkat baterainya jam berapa? Kalau aku sih udah terbiasa sebelum pergi keluar itu ya. Baterai itu selalu penuh. Selalu 100 sih. Atau kalau mau ya bawa casan gitu. Jadi dari rumah disengaja baterainya dikit gitu. Nah, baterainya dikit kan. Jadi kita kayak mencuri listrik sekolah gitu kan buat ngecas HP gitu gitu. Aduh. Iya 2% emang sedih lah. Jam sampai pulang. Tapi HP-nya tinggal 2%, sama aja bohong. Iya kan? Emang jam pulang jam berapa, Ki? Ya sih saran aku kalau mau bawa HP ke sekolah, caslah sampai penuh atau biarin baterainya tinggal 10, tinggal 5, tapi bawa casan. Terus ngecas di sekolah, jadi kita curi listrik sekolah. Haha. Tuh masalahnya nggak bawa casan. Nah, makanya 2.30 mentar lagi, sejam lagi. Tapi kurasa sejam lagi bakalan nggak sampai sih HP-nya. Ya, halo. Kenapa Zen low cost? Hahaha. Low cost siapa? Maksudnya gimana? BTW, udah. Kalau aku emang bawa casan terus sih. Selalu bawa casan. Dan kalau pergi pun selalu 100 kalau bisa. Paling nggak kan casnya ditinggal mandi gitu, pas mandi dicas kan lumayan tuh nambah berapa gitu. Halo Ananda. Gimana kabar ya? Ananda masih main kan Genshin apa gimana? Ini lanjut quest story. Lebih tepatnya sih bukan quest story. Kalau quest story itu kayak quest story Nilu misalnya, quest story Nahida gitu. Lebih tepatnya disebutnya tuh Archon quest sih. Iya, Archon quest. Apa Zen? Apa? Ini tipe-tipe katanya Starel. Ya kan nanti malam. Jam berapa Starel, Zen? Jam berapa Starel? Matamu picek kah? Kamu ngatain? Enggak ya? Kan jam nanti malam kan memang live Starel nanti malam ya. Jam maghrib kan kalau nggak salah. Nanti baru nobar Starel gitu. Baru malamnya maybe Starel, maybe Genshin. Iya. Ah, Zennya harus ke rumah sakit nih. Untuk mengobati matanya. Enggak ya? Kan ada terlalu panjang lah. Nggak bisa kepanjangan ternyata. Dia suka yang pendek-pendek. Apa tuh Zen? Nggak ada Genshin di jadwal tipu-tipu lah. Memang jadwalnya kan bukan jadwal live-nya ini. Ini kan bukan jadwal live. Ah, kamu ini. Dan yang udah. Oh ya ngepas. Alert yang udah mau kenal spoiler nonton yang nanti malam aja. NNTN. Kan nanti malam aja. Live-nya. Nah. Halo Zen, BTW Zen lagi apa? Lagi kerja kah kamu? Halo Bang. Halo Hiro Kazumi. Namanya baru deh kayaknya. Halo Hiro. Iya namanya baru nih. Nah ya Conquest. Aku baru sampai ketemu sama siapa ya? Lupa lagi yang rambutnya kuning cewek. Itu. Itu bagian satu tuh. Navia nggak sih? Yang ada 2 bodyguard bukan? Nggak ada Genshin di Java. Oh sudah deh. Udah lama sekali nggak copy Genshin pakai pas farming batu. Wih iya kah? Tapi paling nggak Ananda udah siap kan? Udah siap ya? Maksudnya udah selesai kan kuliahnya ya? Selamat jadi pengangguran Ananda. Semoga langsung dapat kerja tapi ya. Ini tipu-tipu nih katanya Starel nggak ada Genshin jadwal tipu-tipu. Deh chatnya ngebug. Sebentar. Nah iya kan? Iya dibawa ke rumahnya. Oh ke rumahnya aku belum tahu. Nah itu belum sampai situ tuh. Belum sampai situ tuh. Aku baru sampai endingnya bagian 1. Bagian 2 belum sentuh. Bagian 2 belum sentuh. Sibuk rebahan. Wah dengan rebahan bisa dapat uang ya Zen ya. WKWK iya selamat berjuang diri sendiri iya. Mungkin bagi yang masih sekolah atau yang masih kuliah gitu ya. Kapan ya lulus ya? Biar bisa bebas dari kerjaan, dari tugas, dari dosen gitu-gitu. Percayalah setelah kamu lulus kamu akan jadi pengangguran. Kalau nggak siap ya. Kecuali kalau sudah ada kerja, udah ada kontrak gitu. Nah, enak tuh baru. Iya selamat menjadi pengangguran Ananda. Tapi semoga cuma sebentar ya. Paling nggak sebulan, 2 bulan. Paling parahnya setahun lah. Nganggurnya baru lanjut kerja gitu ya. Dibawa nggak tuh? Bukan dibawa Qiqi. Lebih tepatnya diajak ke rumahnya. Ini suaranya ada kan? Oh, kecilin nggak kan sini ya? Nggak sih, normal sih kan sini suaranya. Kenapa Genshin itu setiap verifikasi file tuh lama banget? Dari zaman dulu masih lama. Padahal update-nya cuma berapa mega gitu. Betul. Oke, selamat menjadi pengangguran. Begitu itulah hidup. That's life. Mencari pada makan belum kalian? Sudahkah kalian makan? Ananda Nightbot pindahkan situ ke peserta. Apa tuh? Kura-kura enak dimakan. Kura-kura? Sebentar, kura-kura apa nih? Kura-kura enak dimakan. Oh Zene yang nanya, wajar lah kalau Zene mah pertanyaannya nggak aneh sih kalau nanyanya gitu. Kenapa Zen? Kura-kura apa yang dimakan? Emang bisa dimakan? Kalaupun bisa bukannya sayang ya. Maksudnya tuh kasihan gitu. Iya Zen. Apakah itu efek karena sibuk rebahan jadinya kepikiran kura-kura dimakan enak ya? Lama. Padahal kalau dilihat di task manager SSD-nya cuma di berapa ya? 30-40%an lah. Jadi dia kayak nggak pakai apa namanya? Nggak pakai potensi maksimalnya. Beda kalau pas mengekstrak file update. Kalau pas baru Pak unduh itu pakai sampai 100% tuh SSD-nya tuh. Untuk USB hub, iya kenapa ada? Kenapa John? Laptop ini tuh USB-nya tuh ada 3, yang USB A, ada 1 USB yang C. Nah USB hubnya itu dipasang di USB yang C, yang C. Kenapa John temen nanyain USB hub? Aku pakai USB hub yang Mereknya Fontaine nggak usah. Fontaine, ya Fontaine lah. Yang ada adapter LAN-nya. Yang dia tuh hubnya tuh 3 USB Type A plus RJ45. Kalau sekarang dicolok ke mana ya? Ke keyboard, ke mana lagi ya? Lupa aku. Oh, keyboard, mic, sama satu lagi kosong. Kalau webcam langsung ke laptopnya. Kalau sticknya pakai Bluetooth, mouse-nya pakai dongle-nya ke laptop langsung. Kenapa sih nanyain USB hub? Kalau harganya berapa ya? Mendekati 100-an deh, 100.000 ya nggak salah. Tapi kabelnya pendek ya. Cuma 15 cm. Kenapa nanya USB hub? Halo bang, ketemu lagi. Halo Jimson. Ketemu lagi, iya kah? Tapi namamu kayaknya baru aku lihat deh. Iya kah? Kapan kamu kesini? Apakah aku mengulangi apa? Iya benar. Mengulangi melupakan penontonku lagi. Itu yang speed berapa transfer datanya? Nggak perhatiin sih, karena aku waktu beli USB hub itu nggak perhatiin speednya sih. Aku perhatiin tuh ininya, portnya kemarin tuh. Apa ya kemarin, Pak? Tak cari deh. Mumpung masih awal nih. Fontaine USB hub. Yang 150 apa ya? Pokoknya mereknya Fontaine aja. Fontaine. Tapi yang ujungnya Type C ya. Oh, sama ada micro-nya juga. Ada micro untuk powernya. Jadi bisa dicolok kabel micro buat nge-power tambahan. Kayak gini ya. Apa yang baru ya, bentuknya agak beda nih. Kali ini yang baru. Bentuknya agak bulat yang aku. Maksudnya melengkung. Bukan kotak-kotak gitu. Ini apa ya? TGP, apa TGP? Ya pokoknya Fontaine aja Zen, mereknya Zen. Kenapa Zen mau beli? Untuk Ally kah? Untuk ROG Ally kah? Kalau iya aku iri. Aku yang nonton live bang kemarin. Iya kah? Pas live apa? Soalnya kalau masih baru aku nggak inget namanya. Tapi kalau udah gak lama ingat aku. Pas live yang mana Jimson? Berarti Jimson main Genshin juga nih. Bang, halo Crimson. Lagi apakah dirimu? Crimson ini sudah dewasa ya? Sudah dewasa nggak tuh? Maksudnya udah selesai sekolah maksudnya. Ini apalah. FSR deh. Jadi sudah. Oke, langsung lanjut aja ke Archon quest ya. Live game adventure. Game adventure yang mana ya? Mau tur tipe lagi weh nanti deh. Malam deh. Enggak tahu ya, malam nanti Genshin apa Starel. Yang jelas kan nanti kan ada live streaming Starel. Rata kanan lah. Bisa sih kalau nggak sambil streaming. Kalau sambil streaming kayak nggak 60 gitu loh. Bisa sih sebenarnya ini ya. Ini settingan ROG-nya silent, di armory crate-nya silent lagi. Rata kanan bisa. Salah. Bisa tinggi lebihin malah 1,5. Kalau Genshin mah adanya kata bawah, nggak ada kata kanan dia. Kata bawah adanya. Tuh. Kayak enggak 60 gitu loh. Bisa tapi enggak 60, enggak enak gitu. Gampang sih. Terus cuma attack 40-90. Mati 40-90 mana? 30-60 kok. Bang, game PC, Bang, maksudnya game PC kenapa? Enggak 60, enggak enak gitu loh kalau aku. Biasanya yang bikin berat tuh ini sih. Render ini satu udah cukup harusnya. Bayangannya menengah aja udah cukup. Yang lainnya boleh deh tinggi. Minggu mungkin. Iya. Ya Kak Zen, buat apa USB hub? Buat aku JLI kah? 4 iklan. Aduh, lagi horor lah bang. Nggak usah, game horor mah sepi. Kemarin main Outlast aja sepi. Bahas apa nih? Nggak bahas apa-apa. Crimson, tadi Zenny nanya USB hub.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope. Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited already.
Panda pulang deh.
In that case, I'll go order for us first.
Belum jam ini 30. Halo bang, halo Milim. Ini aku fokus ke akun quest ya. Baca-baca chatnya sekilas saja ya. Pas malam baru baca ini apa? Baca chat kalian.
Everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life. Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time. And if it's not?
Kalau enggak gimana?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
Semacam aja. Belum ngapain aing?
Sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right?
Iya betul sih. Soalnya bisa sama dengan.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes. Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food. Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Genshin masih seru gak bang? Seru lah, akun quest masih fresh. Iya masih fresh. Belum ngapa-ngapain bang. Belum ngapa-ngapain? Kenapa belum main Genshin? Live siang baca chatnya malam, ngeri kali. Bukan gitu maksudnya. maksudnya pas malam baru aku bacain chatnya. Yang kalau ada ngechat yang malam. Main live ini. Aku nggak gitu suka game horror. Aku penakut soalnya.
Well, we've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that. Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion. If only that guy could have finished speaking.
Oh iya, dibungkam ya terakhir ya. Yang mau mengungkapkan dibungkam.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off.
Bunyinya ya apa-apa pas nih.
To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct.
Kok sama kayak di sini ya? Maksudnya apa tuh? Kelihatannya gamenya juga bagus. Apa game apa? Genshin? Kamu nggak main Genshin kah?
It's just that a different perspective is required. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Aduh. Kok kayak relate ya cerita di awalnya ya.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something else. Like, what are your future plans?
Tapi belum ada kesempatan. Gua nonton.
That's true.
Hah? Maksudnya ngomongin Genshin game bagus. Tapi nggak main ya, cuma nonton doang.
I see. So, your primary objective which has been foiled so far. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you...
Yeah, we've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting it.
Well, would you consider some more, unique
Ada itu
ways?
yang cara yang bakal
Perhaps even methods of, let's say,
Apakah kalian coba
questionable
cara
legality?
cara yang bahkan katakanlah abu-abu di mata hukum? Waduh, mau pakai orang dalam. Apa nih, kalau mau main Genshin mending main dari awal atau beli akun aja, Bang? Kalau menurut aku sih main dari awal ya, apa namanya, main dari awal sih, nggak usah beli sih kalau menurut aku ya. Genshin tuh nggak ada yang dikebut, ya paling cuma cerita aja. Kebut Genshin tuh nggak bukan game apa ya, bukan game harus cepet-cepetan, nggak. Genshin tuh game santai. Genshin tuh game cerita. Soalnya kan kalau misalkan beli akun, nanti nggak tahu ceritanya. Padahal Genshin tuh ceritanya yang bagus. Contohnya aja kan, kalau misalkan Genshin udah kayak apa sih, sebelum update ada area baru gitu kan, terasanya bosan kan, karena nggak ada ceritanya. Bang main game ML kemarin sempat main sih, tapi aku jarang main sih ML. Pokoknya terakhir tuh main pas Hero Sylvana yang baru rilis.
Well, one way would be to
Gitu kalau menurut
infiltrate a
aku.
performance troupe at the opera house, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her.
Atau kalau
after the
memang mau
performance.
beli, mungkin beli yang starter aja. Maksudnya tuh yang baru, yang apa sih, yang belum panjang, apa yang di apa sih questnya gitu, cuman buat karakternya aja. Tapi sayang sih tetap sih, mending main sendiri dari nol. Terus kalau misalkan ada uang lebih, ya tinggal beli blessing aja gitu, nggak usah beli akunnya, jadi bikin dari nol gitu menurut aku loh ya.
I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending and would agree in...
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This
Susah.
plan seems
Kan masih
pretty hard
acting
to
master.
pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act in acting.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all
Semangat
your
live-nya Bang. Iya
questions.
Jimson, semangat juga kamu. Apapun yang kamu kerjakan. Mau itu sekolah, kerja, kuliah. Tapi kalau tebakan aku sih Jimson masih sekolah nih. Bener gak Jimson? Kamu masih sekolah? Udah habis.
I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem.
Masih lanjut questnya. Iya, kenapa?
Ah,
Emang niat aku mau lanjut quest kok live sih
I
ya.
overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for
Yang
sleep.
kayak gitu kok bisa kelewat.
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could...
Nggak bolang aja nggak? Belum kau buka mapnya?
I don't know. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels...
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Ya nggak gitu, sudah urat malunya. Dikatain ya udah.
Why don't
Ya
we
Bang,
do it
sekolah
together
SMA.
after this meal?
Oh.
You know, strike while the
Lagi
iron is
udah
hot
baru
now.
pulang kah? Kalau aku Jumat SMA pulang ya jam 11 gitu kan. Habis itu lanjut ekskul biasanya.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really...
No, it's fine. We're just about...
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fontaine
Rasanya
anyway.
asin-asin
It
jijik.
tastes kind of salty and icky.
Is that so?
Gitu Fontaine
Well,
sini
In that,
otorita.
if we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed.
Tuh. Dan lagi gameplaynya New Village sama Wiro. Yang Wiro sudah, yang Wiro keren sih. Kayak Heizu bintang 5, Kerayo tapi.
Oh, so
Bang kuliah kah? Udah selesai kuliah aku.
can barely
Aku udah
float
tua.
anymore.
Kakak coba pakai kaki tuh. Coba terbangnya rendahan dikit.
That would be so
Ih, emo.
normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses
Aku
this
kuliah
month,
udah selesai. Aku udah tua.
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Sudah seharusnya menikah.
Oh,
Enggak sih.
nothing.
Ya iya boleh sih.
It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the spina di rosula can't cover.
Memang kayo si makanannya salahin Pak Iman. Salahin si Pak Iman. Cuman makanan itu sih pada pokoknya sebenarnya.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again.
WK kenapa diketawain malah?
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the
Nyaka
highest
itu apa maksudnya?
priority.
Iya
In
kah
any
gitu kan
case,
maksud?
I wish
Iya
you
aku udah tua.
smooth sailing. I'll see you again, See ya!
Partner gitu. Nah terus kita kemana nih? Oh bagus nih pas panning ke atas ada baru muncul ininya. Bagus nih. Sesuatu yang baru biasanya nggak kayak gitu. Ini gue opera, oke. Oh salah pastinya. Udah sesuai cerita. MC Hydro emang piu-piu, emang piu-piu. Iya. Mana ya kemana? Apa ini ya? Piu-piu betul. Apa misalnya yang nggak main, apa maksudnya piu-piu bang? Ya mainin aja. Ininya apa Genshinnya? Ya MC-nya, MC Hydro-nya. Tapi sejauh ini ya, maksudnya baru beberapa hari rilis, aku melihat tetap MC Dendro yang paling enak dipakai nggak sih kalau buat spiral ya. Mas X1, iya X1 kan X3 nggak ada, belum ada kan? Kan cuman sampai X1 sampai X2 aja. Kalaupun ada X3 nanti di versi selanjutnya sih, bukan yang sekarang. Itu lebih view. Kok nggak hafal jalan? Salah kah? Jauh ya, emang di mana? Oh, ya ini mah tele aja. Panjang juga, Jung. Apanya panjang? Punya siapa panjang? Maksudnya apa yang panjang? Oh, yang kemarin. Iya, kemana tuh aku baca. Maksudnya tuh live-nya sambil baca, bener-bener gitu. 4 jam. Ya, jadi ayam goreng. Iya, 4 jam. Kalau di aku ya.
There aren't many people around anymore.
Kapan
Looks
kita
like that
gitu.
boat we took to Aranias might have been the last one. Looks like we're back here again.
Oh, ini ya nggak kedengaran apa yang mana ya?
Traveler?
Iya, dan lebih jelas sebanding
Are
pas
you
hari
hearing
itu.
voices again?
Mampus, mapnya masih gelap dan membingungkan. Ya kan memang sesuai ceritanya begitu.
That's kinda spooky. Hey, why are you still walking?
Aku merasakan emosi kuat, rasanya semakin kabur.
Huh? Hang on. Paimon can kinda hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right?
Vache.
Hey, traveler? Stop walking. Come on, wake up.
Waduh. Ampun, masih membingungkan. Sama apa nih? Bukan. Bukan kamu ini apa kamu lakukan sih gimana dengan cinta aku, maaf aku tidak tahu. Who am I? Mungkin ini kayak jiwa atau roh gitu nggak sih? Ini juga umurnya keluarga beda ya. Ini ya. Suaranya beda sih. Kayaknya. Baik itu dulu soal banyak kata yang tanyakan setelah kita itu ulang tubuhnya. Kata pendatnya ini kata tentang air biar itu yang menyebut. Dia coba pernah dilakukan. Oke, baru make sense. Apa tuh? Jadi kamu mau cari pasiennya sama ya? Iya, kayaknya sama deh. Ketemu kembali beda sama kenangan baru. Iya. Kalau misalnya dibuat beda-beda kayaknya bakalan ribet gak sih? Hoververse ya. Minta dia untuk melangkah maju. Waduh, disuruh move on. benar disuruh move on. Aku rasa tidak akan semudah itu melupakanmu. Usia bang berapa? Waduh, tebak-tebakan aja lah. Udah banyak yang tahu kok. Aku nggak termasuk yang merahasiakan umur. Suara Oceanite juga beda dengan Oceanite yang battle kan. Kiranya aku dapat kamu. Ya ampun. Iya kah? Nah, aku merasa menjadi adalah pembebasan.
It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety. I think I hear your companion.
Seperti itu yang
time for you to go, I think.
manggil juga seberapa lama aku berlalu. Nyata.
Farewell then.
I
am glad that you were able to sense my presence.
Mencariku. Lama apa cepet nih di reloadnya? Wah, pingsan tuh aslinya tuh. Lagi apa? Waduh. Nah jadi di reliefnya begitu lah. Padahal di situnya nggak gitu. Pakai white blend ya? Apa tuh senjatanya? Nggak kelihatan sih. Enggak, mirip-mirip white blend, bukan. Seperti di cutscene. Oh bukan. Masalahnya kenapa mereka ini? Oh, why? Masih 29 atau 28, weh. Apa dasar yang nebak segitu? Nyatanya keren. Kalau kan iya keren loh nyatanya. Pertama kali pas kemarin belum maksudnya cuma ngobrol doang kayak biasa aja sih. Ini keren. Ini kayak di sini keren. Itu pas maksudnya introduction-nya keren gitu. Itu iron string bang. Beneran iron string? Bukan kan? Mirip sekilas. Bukan iron string, apa sih? White blind. Yang Navianya ya, kalau yang Chlorine bukan deh. Sekilas. Chlorine deh. Terus yang bikin robot itu kesini siapa?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
Kakak asal dari mana? Apa ini? Maksudnya kota. Aku live di Palembang.
Someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same.
Suara Inggrisnya oke, cocok aja dengan karakternya.
Speak of my father.
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorinde, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary
suara karakter Fontaine gak ada yang jelek sih. Inggrisnya aja.
Did not consider your feelings.
Atau kalau Jepang ya.
Whatever. What else do you know?
Kenapa beranggapan kalau aku lagi dalam bahaya?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful.
Dalam dibalik kasus orang hilang ini adalah orang yang sangat berkuasa. Wih, siapakah itu? Kita belum tahu nih siapa nih. Yang pun dia ngomen di video nggak tuh? Kalau akun yang udah 40 itu jauh kah bang? Definisi jauh tuh apa? Kalau aku sih menurut aku nggak gimana ya. Kalau Genshin tuh sih nggak ada jauh deketnya, paling storynya aja. Tapi memang beberapa quest itu memang mengharuskan AR tertentu kan. 40 harusnya udah bisa sih. 40 tuh sudah di Sumeru awal maybe atau di Chasm. Kalau mentoknya kan di 60 soalnya. Tapi 50 ke 60 lumayan lama. Dan nggak perlu di speedrun juga sih naikin levelnya. Oke.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
Mending 45 sekarang bisa farm RT. Iya, kalau 45 baru farming RT.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law.
Punya siapa?
I can only conclude that some
Ada
powerful
ya
or
kaya
wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league then?
Yes. Be careful and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you.
Dadah, Clarine. Oke, makasih Bang. Iya, masalahnya event kemarin
I suppose that's the best
Oh
news
iya.
we've gotten today.
Event yang event yang mana nih? Event yang mana? Bukan yang ini kan?
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clarand
Ini
was
kita
being
boleh
sincere.
mengupayakan mereka belum bisa percaya.
I know, she's...
Apa terjadi? Siapa itu tadi?
Goodness! Paimon thought we were done for!
Ah, masa segampang itu Pak kita selesai Pak?
Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clarand who came out to save us too! We got lucky
pasti
there.
sudah
I probably couldn't have
bubuk.
fought them off otherwise.
Paimon pasti sudah bubuk. Bubuk itu apa? Oh, Paimon sudah bisa berkuantum sekarang masuk.
Oh, come
Win
now.
belum?
Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back
Win
there.
belum?
Not for me anyway. In truth,
Hah?
I hope that
Masa
every
Win belum
meal
aku
we
Semeru?
have
Iya
together
kah?
shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her
All right, you two.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really?
Untuk sekarang.
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
Aku juga rasanya tapi masih tidak yakin.
Fanta only comes in sweet flavors.
Masih ada yang rasa
So
sedikit.
how
Dan
could it
itu
have
warnanya
tasted
juga agak
salty?
beda. Oh,
The
oke.
color of the drink?
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Jadi,
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me.
oh iya dong. Kalau enggak, ya Navianya itu. Ya bang, itu pasang 5 nggak start di sini karena DPS beban. Oh gitu. Paling enggak kalau misalnya mau beli akun 40 ke atas lah AR-nya. Karena kan ada beberapa yang harus ini kan. Apa namanya? Tapi bukannya bisa di skip ya? Bisa di skip kok quest-questnya kayaknya. Untungnya memang dan aku bukan Fontaine. Iya, makanya udah diracunin ternyata.
I
Wah,
sent people
ngeri
to
amat.
Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger and hurried here as quickly as I could.
Berarti ada yang memata-matai kita nih. Siapakah itu?
Why would they go after us too? All we did
Iya.
was defend Lenny in court and help clear his name.
Aduh mas, masa sekarang jadi harus terlibat
We're
sih.
caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
Berarti nggak sengaja kita terlibat ya di sini ya.
You did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of and almost got their name in the process.
Enggak deh, kayaknya lawan Signora emang bisa di skip bang. Lawan Signora? Enggak, maksud aku tuh kalau biasanya kan kalau event kan misalkan ada quest tertentu bisa di skip gak sih? Kalau Signora aku nggak tahu ya. Maksudnya lawan Signora? Masa Masa aku lawan Signora dulu mau win belum? Enggak deh kayaknya. Kayaknya Wiro bakal nggak jadi standar. Enggak jadi standar. Iya. Yang jadi standar tuh nggak tahu ya. Ada yang dulu awal-awal katanya Wiro, tapi kayaknya enggak deh. Soalnya kayu katalis kayaknya enggak standar sih. Karena bakal banyak potensinya kan. Bisa main melt gitu.
Well, it can't be coincidence that the
Oh, karena
traveler
minum
Vicky
itu kita
just
jadi
now.
bisa
She
ketemu
said that
itu.
she heard that voice oh, and this time Paimon heard it too.
Mungkin buat
It was real faint.
Kalian kemampuan mendengar sesuatu itu ada hubungan dengan kepekaan saat setiap elemen hydro.
Does that mean the primordial seawater raises
elemen
someone's
hydro kalau dipakai
sensitivity
akan
to
dilakukan.
hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While
Well, let's hear it, shall
Terhadap
we?
yang maju itu milik salah satu tugas yang hilang dan sama dapat sedikit laut. Petunjuknya ke situ, weh.
Oh,
Mana gacha? Boleh sih.
is important.
31 red on. Lebih gampang kata Qiqi belum ada yang di standar. Mungkin Navia masuk standar. Navia belum kelihatan ininya apa namanya gameplaynya. Bisa dilihat dari gameplaynya sih. Kalau misalkan gameplaynya B aja, nah standar pasti. Game Korea namanya Moonechan. Lalu siapa itu? Cerita Genshin masih lama tamatnya. Masih setengah jalan lebih deh kayaknya. Setengah jalan kurang deh. Masih ada Natlan, Snesnaya, paling enggak ada 2 region lagi.
That name doesn't ring a bell.
Tamatnya kan paling enggak di
I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a
2025
witness in court
atau
lately.
4, 2025 sih. Apa 2026 malah. Lupa. Udah pernah ditunjukin atau pernah dibilang gitu kalau nggak salah Genshin tuh ceritanya habis tahun berapa gitu. Tapi lupa. Siapa tahu Hayapun nggak niat bikin kata baru kayak dia kemarin. Nah, siapa tahu Hayapun nggak niat bikin kata baru kayak dia kemarin. Nggak tahu ya, makanya kita belum tahu kitnya Navia kayak apa gitu.
Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial
Kalau
seawater.
sudah mereka dicari. Iya.
Yes, thank you. This is very important information indeed.
Kami,
We will
kenapa nggak
continue to
kita?
investigate. Oh, you mean you'll
Jadi
help us
kita join di
investigate?
sini.
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're
Ya
still
benar
partners,
juga
right?
sih.
And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, traveler?
Iyalah.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's have we also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Dan jangan lupa kan Ria. Itu pun kalau misalkan betulan dibikin region ya. Nah, berarti masih tambah panjang lagi tuh. Pokoknya Genshin tuh selama ini kan masuk tahun ketiga ya. Selama 3 tahun ini, mau ke 3 tahun ini, kita tuh belum tahu antagonisnya siapa. Kalau udah tamat ceritanya ngapain bang di game ini? Tamat? Game ini belum tamat sih. Paling kalau tamat itu kalau pas nggak ada Archon quest, nah baru ngapain gitu. Paling explore, keliling-keliling, ngerjain side quest gitu. Oh mau mancing. Mancing apa? Bukan keributan kan? Mancing maksudnya mau ngambil ikan di sini. Boleh kalau mau ambil. Tapi aku lagi Archon quest, bisa nggak ya? Nanti nggak bisa Archon quest. Malam aja kali ya. Atau pas aku yang lagi gabut gitu di Genshin. Global Illumination. Ini kayak parkiran mobil ya.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Very good. But
I shall find rooms for our respected guest.
thank you, Malus. Now,
Memang di
let's
bawah
continue,
jalannya.
traveler.
Basement. Tapi aku ngeliatnya kayak tempat parkiran mobil gitu loh. Mobil kan parkir itu masuk bawah tanah, basement gitu parkir. Harus diparkir di basement gitu-gitu. Wah, ada jasa ini.
I'll keep this close.
Mancing. Oh iya ke sini kan. Oh iya kan kayak parkiran mobil. Waduh. Kan Fontaine VTuber. Kan kata VTuber, kata Fontaine VTuber sekali. VTuber. Navia sih yang misalkan mirip apa, bukan mirip ya, yang paling VTuberable nggak ada. Winda lagi live apa? Halo brutal sayang. Namanya kayak tadi tuh. Kamu siapa? Mati, beneran mati. Bodoh lah. Woi, ngeri amat. Ini nggak ada liftnya nih. Aduh, kita ke tempat sisi gelapnya Fontaine deh. Apa tuh? Iya, ke sisi gelapnya Fontaine ini. Aku akan pura-pura nggak lihat. Oh, aku akan pura-pura nggak lihat. Oh, tadi nggak. Iya, nggak ada apa-apa kok. Nggak usah ke air ya. Ya sudahlah. YouTube favorit abang siapa? Favorit? Mungkin lebih ke YouTuber apa yang kalau ada live gitu pasti ditonton. Gitu kali ya, mungkin lebih ke situ kali ngakaknya ya. Ya ini sih untuk sekarang sih ya, untuk sekarang loh ya, mungkin bisa berubah nantinya. Paling ya Gema Show Indo Tara Art paling itu untuk sekarang. Kalau kedepannya ya beda, mungkin bisa beda. Nanya gitu brutal. Namanya brutal ada. Tulisannya kayak tulisan TCG nggak?
This is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged.
Under
the present circumstances,
kecewa
I
nih.
can confidently say it's the
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people...
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago.
Your father... He was the previous boss's...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to...
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners,
Pakai jalan enak kecil cepet banget nyopet apa?
My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial.
Waduh.
He died.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up.
Aku tak percaya papa bisa membunuh.
At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel. 3 years later, how could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
Kalius Hastarel. Weh, apa? Enggak lah, beda lah.
The closest piece
Warna
of
rambutnya
info I
beda.
had is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in. But I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the... However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind it, I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed?
Ini bilangnya papa ya,
Even if
bukan
he really
ayah
did
ya.
kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive.
Nyopet Hill sama enemy. Hah? Nyopet Hilly. Oh, Hilly Chill sama all enemy sekali lagi yang paling melayang. Poin berapa? Skill A-nya.
He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death.
Menjaga bilangan susah ya. Gak
You
gitu
really are a
Navia.
handful, aren't you, Papa?
Kita ada kesamaan.
Mademoiselle, please.
Ada
If there is
pencerahan.
anything I can do,
Apa saja.
anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are
Ya,
none
dan saya
whom I
mau
respect more than the two of you,
di
Demoiselle.
Marcel.
Master Callus did so much good in
Daddy.
life, yet
Kok
all
Daddy
it
sih?
took was one murder
Ayah
case
kek
for him to be
lebih
dubbed
lebih
Callus
baku
the
kan.
Unfaithful.
15 k itu belum Goblin Idol. Bisa 20-an sih bisa 20-an sih kalau Goblin Idol.
Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little
No. Perhaps
That's
people
not
just
what I'm
revel
doing,
in that kind of
Ramas.
drama.
Salah
It's not something exclusive to
sama.
people from Fontaine. People love watching the
Oh,
evil turn over a new leaf. But they also enjoy watching good people fall into an
But how could... Never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel.
Nih,
Oh,
itu sama sih boleh custom. Pantas sih
isn't
rasanya
that as
canggung
good
ya.
as saying that
Ah.
he was the one who killed him? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Halo Jamal. Posisinya pas nyelam. Kenapa? Pas nyelam aneh. Aku belum nyelam soalnya. Aku belum sentuh underwater ya. Sama sekali belum sentuh aku. Kenapa nyelannya? Basah ya? Halo juga Jamal.
It's not that I don't understand her at all. But
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force.
Afterward, Miss Cloran told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure that
keluar dari
Marcel
race
is
hidup.
safe.
Iya.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
oh, Papa, what madness drove
Nah,
you to
kalau ini
ask
dia
the
nyebutnya
person who
papa,
killed you
baru
to
nggak
take
papa.
care of me?
Kalau tadi nyebutnya father kan. Sampai minta orang untuk menjagaku.
All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
Kenapa Jamal?
Thanks. You two should go and rest.
Aduh.
This was quite a day after all.
Yeah. Paimon's feet.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Ini sekilas juga jadi inget ini ya. Apa sih? Ingat belobok yang bawah. Suasananya. Sehat di kamarmu.
Whether it be responsibility for Spina di Rosula or Master, this won't do.
Istirahat, masuk rumah. Kamu jualan apa? Oh enggak. Apakah Shenhe akan bergelombang seperti Kenapa? Apakah Shenhe akan bergelombang seperti ombak? Nah, di akun keduaku ada Shenhe, ada Raiden, ada Yelan tuh. Di sini nggak ada. Enggak sih, Shenhe ada sih di sini. Shenhe yang nggak ada. Di sana di akun kedua tuh ada Raiden sama Yelan tuh. Bergelombang? What do you mean? Waving alias bergelombang. Kenapa? Tengah-tengahnya kayaknya kayak bekas duel gak sih? Bekas main kartu kah? Mandiin semua bang. Di akun satu lagi tapi. Ini coba
Paimon slept so well. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back.
musir.
But never mind that. When did you get back?
Kamu lagi
Were you
nungguin.
waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some
Hmm,
investigating
dia
yesterday
kata nama
regarding the name Vache.
Here.
So you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence of
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking.
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. I suspect
Bahasa
that those
dan
behind
bahasa
this have
Inggris
already
adalah
taken
bentuk
steps
kebenaran
to hinder an
sebenarnya.
investigation from this
Tapi
angle.
kemana mendengar baca
But
kasih
that does prove
Gak
that
nyesel
this
kok, kan gue
Fontaine person is a key witness in the incident.
Aduh, dapat batang betul sih.
Does that mean we're too late though?
Gak nyesel kok daripada gondol, akan gondol gandul daripada batang.
No, there is one
Ya,
ray of hope.
dikumpulin
One place in
ngumpulin
Fontaine
gondol
that
gandul
we
ya.
would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? In that case, let's go talk to him, shall we?
Kayaknya nggak segampang itu deh.
Aren't you...
No, it's nothing.
Akun waifu ku apa tuh? Apa tuh? Akunku waifu only di. Di nggak ada Kazuhaka.
Treat underground is way more fun than I thought.
Kepala gak kelihatan mapnya, apa bedanya bawah atas? Mana jalannya? Manjat nih. Gak ada liftnya kah? Kamu bisa nggak naikin aku? Bukan deh. Cara naik ke atas lewat mana ya? Aku nggak hafal. Kalau itunya gimana titik-titiknya? Tidak relevan, sudah tele aja lah. Ini bawah kan maksudnya kan? Saya tersesat, gak ada mapnya. Kakak Zul beda cerita lah, curang katanya wave only. Makanya itu patut pencet lah bang, kan belum ke sana. Oh salah ya jalannya ya. Beda ya kalau nggak ada map ya. Bisa ke bawah dulu nih, bawah ada petunjuknya nih. Oh muter. Biar hafal juga tempatnya nanti. Oh iya, naik. Telepon ya, oke. Cukup menyembuhkan diri sendiri ya. Oh kan sesuai ceritanya kan belum ke sana.
The place we're going is called the Palais Marmonia. The office of the Chief Justice is on the 4th floor.
Nah, ulti.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Nggak ada ya, nggak nembus. Cuma menyembuhkan diri sendiri ya. Iya.
Rain outlines your...
Kan sesuai ceritanya.
The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Nah itu baru kan akhirnya kan ke sini juga kan akhirnya kan. Nah kalau kayak gini baru buka gitu. Baru yang ya apa baru searah kan baru buka. Ah sudah lah. Nah, tanya gitu ya ternyata ya. Ya udah ngeliat sih tapi baru kelihatan kalau ternyata kalau di sini besar ya. Kayak bener kayak kura-kura ya sekilas sih. Bisa apa nggak sih? Belum deh. Ini kan belum. Pakai loading ya. Berarti tempatnya besar nih. Kalau tempatnya kecil nggak loading sih. Pencet iya kan ngelewatin. Kalau ngelewatin pencet, tapi kalau nggak ngelewatin nggak. Tadi kan masuk ngelewatin tuh.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. The This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh?
Ano ka dun siapa?
Just to be clear,
Dia berbeda siapa?
I
Dia
don't
tak seperti dengan
know who you
siapa?
are or who you
Harus
might be
penjelasan
related
masuk
to.
orang jelas.
I'll
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep, Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I
Silakan saya
can
pintu
point you
keluarnya.
towards the
Gak bisa
exit.
begitu.
Unlike some,
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago?
oh yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh? Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thanks so much.
Kantong Hakim Agung. Nggak hilang dia. Nggak kelihatan, pendek. Jangan sok ngide, ya ampun kalimatnya. Kabur.
Please come in.
Oh, enggak, balik, kabur. Oh, dibuka. Dasar iseng ya.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet.
Ser
We
itu.
would like to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called
Halo bang, apa kabar? Halo
He may have been an eyewitness in the
Demsdar.
serial disappearances
Namamu baru
case.
soalnya.
If we can
Apa
find
jangan-jangan
him,
yang tadi?
we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment.
Nih, apa sih? Apa karakter novelet ini
Who knew that?
kayak serem, kayak sangar itu, tapi dia baik ya. Kelihatannya, makanya bener kata Pemon muda ngomongnya. Dia pas lagi dari badannya kayak seseorang yang ganas gitu-gitu loh. Aku bukan anak-anak iya kah? Apa udah tua juga?
I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Jadi kita kawan.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem.
Ahamnya gitu dong. Wait, bentar katanya wait mesti.
Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just no. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's
Ya ampun nangis nggak tuh.
then why didn't you call a stop to the
Kalau kamu
duel?
belum menyelesaikan tenaga bakal matikan duelnya.
Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away?
Ya
Why
ampun.
did you just let him die? Despised and hated by all.
Waduh.
Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I,
Aduh.
Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep
Menyimpan
all
semua
kinds of
dari
things in your heart
mati,
and
membayar
never
pajak
say it's not so much that you can't
sama
feel,
makin
but that you would
tidak
never
pernah
express
melakukan
anything. Oh, well, in any
Tidak
case,
dapat
everyone already knows
apa
full
disangka
well
melakukan.
my apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Terus kemana? Kalau situ nihil hasilnya.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Nge-lag iya. Oh, tadi nge-lag hujan ya.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder,
Di hari
it was also raining.
hujan.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Rasanya dia lagi di luar waktu kejadian.
Yeah, he was outside.
Iya,
It
dia
was uncovered and the rain could fall there.
Cuma jangan
Why?
bisa berdasarkan
Do you
hujan.
think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
Ini waktu itu ada hal yang tidak kamu tahu.
Oh? Wait.
Kata manusia itu menjadi air.
You don't mean...
Oh, benar juga. Itu main MC-nya pintar.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if...
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get...
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over by yourself later?
Oh, ini pilihan nih, mau langsung ke sana atau mau explore dulu. Tapi sekarang aja mumpung baru dapat ide, udah saja nanti ke susul ya kan.
Great.
Bareng deh.
Let's go then.
Kalian bawa berarti kita nggak langsung tele ke sana. Kita tele sendiri gitu. Oh, gitu. Bagus. Ada pilihannya. Tempat ombak gelap bermasuk-masuk. Oh, ini tempatnya di sini tuh.
Whoa, what a huge ship! Why would
Mak
a ship be
penting
anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like my father was the one who asked for it to be built like this, perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally... A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all.
Oh. Jauh dengan melus nggak tuh? Melusin kan? Melus. Muna Selio, aku diangkut merah. Spoiler kan, jangan nonton, absen aja. Halo Darren, belum kah? Reward story-nya mudah primo. Aku nggak ngitungin primo sih. 13917 ya. Nanti pas selesai kapan tuh? Berapa tuh? Nggak ngitungin aku. Belum. Oh ya udah, jangan nonton Darren, paling dengar suara aku aja atau baca chatnya aja. Karena pasti bakal spoiler nih. Pastilah, namanya juga akun quest. Makanya aku live-nya siang biar nggak pada nonton gitu, biar nggak ke spoiler. Males main lah, kenapa males main? Nggak tertarik sama ceritanya kah?
Melus, we're back.
Aduh. Oh, melus tuh ini loh, salah. Tak kira melusin.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important partners. You said before that you still had some business at the court. What brings you back to Poisson so quickly?
Enggak, maksudnya reward questnya udah primo atau cuma buku ya sih. Aku ya tahu, paham kok maksudnya. Sampai sini udah dapet, maksudnya dari awal tadi live kan sampai sekarang tuh udah dapet berapa primonya. Aku nggak ngitung sih. Nggak ngeliatin, udah dapat belum ya?
About
Nggak
that.
perhatiin aku,
It's
belum deh
because
kayak.
my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see,
Aku
what
malah
if my
kagak
father's case
explore.
had something to do with
Kemarin
water from the
100% tuh hanya
primordial
mitos.
sea?
Kalau udah 100. Belum, berarti belum sentuh Genshin kah, Darren?
You still remember, right, Malus? On that night, it was raining?
Batu.
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of
Tak
Mr. Linny's. Both
mungkin.
were what you'd
Apa
call
ngelakuin orang yang sama?
Could you
Kayak
tell
sama
us a
deh.
bit more about what...
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain
Synth.
popularity in
Bilangnya
Poseidon.
Sinte tulisannya. Synth.
At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial
Yes, he did.
Considering
Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that synth, if you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus
Biasa
or
review
control your
meme.
emotions.
Ye. Tapi nggak tahu sempet apa enggak ya. Soalnya kan mau live sama Yani dulu.
And if you were to stop drinking it completely,
Halo lagi bang. Oh
you'll
tidak,
experience
spoiler. Halo
flashes of
lagi. Loh,
paranoia and anxiety,
udah tahu spoiler
or
masih
lacking
nonton.
energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the
Ini aku
problem
mau
once and for all.
tegak chatnya biar bisa nutupin ini aku mau tegak chatnya biar nutupin screen wae.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning,
Tapi dengar bahasa Inggrisnya dong
so he
tapi.
could never get anything out of the dealers.
Kalau
All of
listeningnya
whom only
bagus.
sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to, but then we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Weh.
We raced to the scene and found my father still holding a gun.
How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now.
Back then, we all just thought they... But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired.
Tuh. Cuma nggak aku hiraukan waktu dengar itu aku hiraukan weh.
You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're on the right track to figuring it.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past
Udah bang
actions.
Darren.
It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with zero war. I think this third person. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as you're and your father, our opponent is insidious and cruel.
Kita belum tahu sih kita tinggal lawan siapa.
To deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes.
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything? Synth is still here. Callous the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life? I've never accepted that. Ever. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing...
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly...
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, boss, but what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next
Lah,
target to
plot twist
disappear.
sekali.
What?
Lah, pantesan. Oke.
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctor and the serial disappearances case caused him. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some, but as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth.
Right. So nobody would be able to get off scot-free.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look.
No father wants their daughter to see them
Waduh.
weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly,
Bukan
Demoiselle.
payung.
If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to, I'm sure he'd be
That fool. No.
That fool.
He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me?
Nakala ko di wala
And what if I was never able to make it to where I
Dengan
am
berkebulan
now?
untuk itu sesuai keinginan mo.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, but thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person.
Ayas, kenapa?
And then,
Kenapa, Ki?
Malus, what was the key evidence that he
Hindi
shared
nggak
with
ngaruh.
you?
Kenapa? Ano masap? Ano magri?
It's the
Jangan spoiler
illustration
magri ya. Magi
where
hobi,
Synth
hobi
is
spoiler soalnya.
produced. Essentially, it's the enemies. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics. But if you want to use it against the enemy,
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
Kayak nggak gitu deh, Paimon.
you mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea
Aku
what
belum
kind of
jalanin
evidence
ini,
they may
nanti
be
lah.
able to
Oh,
find inside,
akhirnya Magi nggak bisa
nor what
spoiler.
people we may be able to
Katanya YouTube bisa
capture.
cari. Oh, katanya YouTube bisa kayak chat editable. Bisa, tapi kayaknya beda deh caranya. Atau mungkin beda-beda device kali.
Would be tantamount to a formal declaration of war. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed,
Tapi kita
but
juga
also open ourselves up to.
Then, in that case, why not work with the Fontaine authorities?
Kayaknya nggak bakal mau sih, Paimon. Minta pihak berwenang. Alah.
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly.
Aku
they
lagi
may
cek
have
atas
been
soalnya nggak ada
infiltrated.
wifi. Lah, berarti belum update dong.
That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side's
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the
Melus, bukan
butler,
melus,
after
melus.
all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability,
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything?
let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors backed up after several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list down to the first is Florent, Spina de Rosula's senior advisor.
Oh ya.
Florent?
Yes,
Floran,
surprising,
Floran,
isn't it?
bukan Floren.
He was one of the people boss
YouTube,
trusts
kenapa
the
angry?
most,
Kenapa marah?
which also means that he was someone
Oh,
who
ngasih bikin
understood
emot ya?
boss really well.
Ini bahasa Tuhan bisa tapi juga berarti dia sama.
Thanks to his position within boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plans and could thus. There's someone else like him too, Marcel, the head of confrérie of Cabriere.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. The boss helped it to grow to its current size, and in the beginning they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're...
So, they're like a sister organization?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against this, it's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money.
The final suspect is Qiqi, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula and the guards. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many activities we have to report to the local. Since Qiqi is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan.
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite to think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along. Among those...
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging...
Of course. And thank you, Malus.
You're too kind, my lady. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of blame. After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Aw, thank you so much, Malus.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case.
Aku sekelas. Aduh. Kunjungi keluarga Qiqi. Qiqi.
It is settled then. Please excuse me and enjoy your conversation at your leisure.
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Anaknya kenapa marah? Adele nggak tuh?
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like
Jangan
her
diganggu
at all.
deh.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
If it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of more.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
You suck.
I can understand the kind of pain.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I could possibly... I know only the full truth could bring closure to you. And to...
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more...
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could...
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the
Halo, Qiqi.
business. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that
Jangan
I
ada orang yang
realized it
memerintahkan
was
dia
his
untuk
final
menghabisi
farewell to the two of us.
Kalas. Ada memerintahkan juga untuk menghabisi Kalas.
I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, even if he fired the shot that killed my husband. It was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to...
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy? If he did the right, Papa always wanted to be a good man.
Well, things aren't always as they seem.
Yeah, Papa was a really good man.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a
Waduh,
bad
ketika
thing,
orang baik buat jahat,
then he
maka
must have had
dia
his
punya
reasons.
alasan pasti.
Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword,
Teman.
he must have done
Iya,
so.
kayak itu.
Oh,
Thank you. For
Berarti aku
everything
dulu
you
yang nggak
told
mau.
me.
Iya nggak apa-apa. Memang aku tuliskan spoiler alert. Kalau nggak mau spoiler nggak usah.
The
Nanti
current
malam
state
aja.
of things is not. Thank you.
Oh, tiba-tiba buat
I'm
event
very
quest yang lawan
thankful to hear this from you.
Kelomang. Kelomang nggak tuh? MC ada udah cepet bulan cuman sungutnya bang. Aku belum event. Kelomang nggak tuh? Mangku apa sih kelomang ya ampun bahasanya kelomang.
Even though your personality is
Kelomang
quite
ada.
different from your father's,
Aku belum event, belum tahu
your
aku.
determination when you speak is
Event sekarang kan?
similar.
You really think so? That's the first time.
Ini guys dan itu atau ada lain yang sembunyi.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Laurent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
Milk it.
And it'll be all the talk for the next...
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside. And after my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should... Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone.
Tapi aku tidak pernah percaya dengan
But I've never really bought
atau
that
sekedar
explanation.
tips. Aing YOLO pakai nyelan soalnya. YOLO tuh sudah ada yang free dan yang gampang pakai nyelan kata Hoyoverse-nya ya.
Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to this. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person.
Betul juga.
About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra... The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques. Or...
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun. But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why he didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine? And chose instead to prove... Did he lose all faith in the courts? After seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So, I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis... And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis... Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will... You and all our other comrades at the Spina...
Mengaku sangat berterima kasih atas kebaikan bersama dengan lawan pun. Aduh, nanti kayaknya ada sidang lagi deh. Memang ada soalnya duanya di kota ya. Oke, enak nih ada mapnya. Gak kayak tadi hitam. Kamu di sini ternyata.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me.
Sudah selesai masuk.
Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callis did a fantastic job running the town. Buildings, it would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You...
Yes. These two. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Lenny's case and my father's made...
I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? If you want to go through the original files from your father's case...
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for...
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a... So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is...
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef will just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me, and removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, so I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of... Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your... I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you
Lawan
need
tuh,
any support
kalau
from
Mang
the
aing
guards.
cuma 2 kali bot sampai itu piu-piu hehe. Kalau Mang tuh yang mana? Maksudnya di mana? Aku belum sampai sana. Aduh, jauh terima kasih. Kalau Mang, mana Mang? Oh, yang ini ya? Mana sih? Ini ya? Ini gak sih Kelomang? Kelomang gak tuh? Woi, lewat mana jalannya tuh? Oh lagi. Itu bukannya ini, bukannya farming ya? Bukan event kan? Ngantuk.
Hello, how may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say...
Ada questnya di event. Itu bukan event namanya, itu tuh cuma ngasih tahu. Ini loh ada fitur baru ini gitu-gitu. Atau bukan event mah. Nggak ada hadiahnya kan, maksudnya hadiahnya hadiah biasa kan. Bukan event lah.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I...
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House.
Real.
I'm sure you saw everything too.
Yes.
Nanti deh coba tunjukin sekilas ya.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf. I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Iya kan?
Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as an...
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that...
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but...
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on Arrhenius by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will... But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain safe.
Poisson bukan poison deh.
You can always return them. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabriere.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is... The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet. So I was out and about the whole time. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot. And the rest was history.
Korizong. Bukan korisan, korizong.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around.
Sounds good. Just let me know if all my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support.
Masih adalah ketua sekaligus menjaga beberapa tahun. Ini event. Ini bukan 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 event. Ini event. Ini event. Karena nggak ada waktunya. Dapat primo dari mana? Dapat primo? Iya kah? Ini spiral lah ya. Bukan event itu. Jatuhnya bukan event sih kalau menurut aku ya. Event tuh yang ada waktunya. Ya kecuali spiral ya. Spiral kan event juga. Maksudnya ada waktunya tapi bukan event.
We've talked to all three suspects. Purely
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Iya, semuanya normal semua. Tidak ada yang menonjol. Itu ada kok. Itu maksudnya betul.
Then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right. Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Kalau aku jadi Gensus, aku tidak akan menembak.
Oh? And why is that?
Memangnya mau nurut dijamin selamat. Memangnya kalau nurut dijamin selamat, memangnya keluarga pasti aman. Bener sih.
Oh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that
So,
what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order.
Ada orang tiga mengacaukan semuanya.
Makes sense.
Bersama membukti manakah semuanya hanya teori.
The attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the
Do you think he knew
Ya ampun, angle-nya harus dari situ ya.
lead to the end?
Mungkin dia sudah tahu kalau itu
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Yang tengah sih.
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is Pop, but I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also...
Yeah, had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with us. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that...
Florence tuh yang itu Marcel tuh yang ini orang kaya tapi ya ini dong berarti.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him, and with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number. Still really hard for me to imagine, though. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth?
Lain. Jawabannya pasti nggak ada juga.
Florent?
Florent, bukan Florent, Florent.
Closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning. But As Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a
Exactly. He can't.
Ya,
And
beli
even if...
sekaligus.
Who could it be?
Aku rasa baca petunjuk. Beli putih. Waduh. Tidak relevan. Kuncinya cuman tidak relevan. Person. Nanti sudah mengaku sama mereka akan ada di besta. Ulangan di besta dan dapat mereka tidak membuatnya terjadi. Tentang itu menurutnya hanya orang yang cukup saja. Tapi jangan kerjanya juga lumayan gajinya. Menjaga bapak aku menjaga ingatan tentang itu agak sama-sama namun dia bisa membakar. Tapi dia kaya tapi. Benar
You
nggak?
know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it.
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't we need far more solid proof before...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Apa?
Aren't you the guy from the guard?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials?
Iya.
What's so...
I know.
Ya,
But they said
tapi-
the person they're putting on trial
Weh,
is a
kenapa
Jewy
cicil dia nih?
officer called Tartaglia.
Tahu tapi mereka bilang yang jelas yang Fatu yang kincir nama kecil deh. Hah? Lah.
Is that some...
Macam kalau sudah bisa agak dekat.
Well,
Dan itu sebagai
he's
pelaku
been
sebenarnya
accused
dekat
of
sama
being the
mereka.
true
Nih?
culprit behind...
Wait, how? None of our investigations have had any...
That's what I thought
Nah,
was
itu
strange
juga-
about it.
makanya
So
juga
I
alasan
came to
aku
tell you the
makan
news
yang
right away.
seperti
If the charge
Kalau
against
tadi
him
aku bilang
stands,
kami
then
mungkin
it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support
kalau
any
itu
of our
maka
planned
aku tidak mungkin
investigations.
minta tolong anggota guard untuk menjadi.
Right. Because they'll
Ini
think
goblok
they've
pasti
already
ini.
found the culprit.
Yeah, and
Iya.
it'll be a lot
Nanti
harder
juga akan
than
bisa
to clear
menuliskan
Mr.
nama.
Callus's name.
Iya.
I understand.
Nanti itu bagus sih banget. Terima kasih banget.
Um,
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
Aku pergi ke arena, aku pergi ke tempat itu. Aku percaya dengan kemampuan beras tarungku.
Just as expected of my part, since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus. You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House, and I won't have any chance of making that charge stick though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time.
we'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver, when did you two get...
We heard that you'll
Kalian
be leaving
sekarang
Poisson.
pasti untuk kami
Figured
bilang
that you
kita
it's our hope that
Akan bisa
your
bersama
confidence
dengan
will be
aku.
boosted.
Iya, jangan sendirian si
Thank you
Navia
so
nih.
much.
Harus ada yang lindungin.
Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then.
Jika menggabungkan bahasa mengenai dan berat sebagai saat ini, saya sebagai orang memiliki dan mesti dapat. Ya, jadi saya mengingatkan titiknya yang sekarang itu mas. Oh dia yang kaya. Yang lainnya nggak biasa-biasa aja.
Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Apa ini kapal? Kuasong, kok kuasong sih? Apa kuasong Zen? Apa tuh? Cara pintu masuk markas.
According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater.
Oh ini baru ngenalin underwater.
Find the entrance.
Oh ini baru ngenalin underwaternya, oke. Ya nyelam akhirnya. How to nyelam, bulat. Oh, terlalu dangkal ya. Baru ada tutorialnya, baru achievement. Nah. Oh, bulat silang ya naik turunnya. Oke. Nanti nyerangnya. Oh, depan spam L2. Ya, aku nyelam, dalamnya bagus sih. Tadi udah nyoba di HP sebenarnya, tapi di HP bagus juga. Tapi angka lamanya ya kalau ngelawan kayak gini ya. Oh, ada kayak gitunya, ada skillnya juga ternyata. Oh, ada yang bisa, ada nggak bisa gitu. Satu, salah. Karena kami menuliskan pemikiran yang saya disentuh atau menerap negatif dengan HP staf konteks stamina. Oke. Ini. Oh, oke. Tapi bawah air nggak ada lagu ya? Ya sesuai sih, bawah air kan nggak ada ininya. Wajib malah juga dengan saya kota sudah dia sepotas kotanya. Jika tidak mau kembali. Apa itu? Oh, tuh Yumin yang mana?
Finally found it.
Bisa bicara di air. Lucu suaranya.
This is the entrance that leads to the synth production base.
Itu tidak mau
Sure
mencoba.
doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Harusnya ada percakapannya kayak oh bisa ngomong di air gitu apa gimana gitu. Walaupun di airnya ada waktu pertama kali ke statue pertama.
You're
Tapi
right.
pas ngomong ini lucu
An
aja.
important place like this is
Ini seri part 2. Iya Aldo, bagian 2.
mechanisms.
Gak lanjut malam air bang. Kenapa? Masih lama kah?
Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Bisa ngomong di air, oke. Oh, ada dua POV. Belum makanya bisa atau ternyata kaget aku makanya bisa.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia.
Nah, sebenarnya saya harus skip karena belum kajian. Ya nggak apa-apa, aku kan udah nulis spoiler alert kan. Jadi yang nggak mau spoiler nggak usah nonton.
Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Kok aku kata Shield?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of.
Makanya, di kambing hitam
However,
kan.
I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of...
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to...
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man. Huh? What's going on? Why is she
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbinger.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time, but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had... We can put the discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial... And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven...
Oh, A young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I've gotten so, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted.
Okay.
Now then, Miss Navia, who?
That person is.
Aduh, kita yang nentuin ternyata. Kamu gabungan
Marcel, the head of confrérie of Cabriere.
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on a legal and if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation.
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge.
Jangan dulu deh, bentar. Iya kan, siapa lagi kalau bukan dia?
Be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies, sir. It all just happened so quickly. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between...
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charge.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even...
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reason.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Okay.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabriere. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to... Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the... These are the known facts about the case.
Fakta sekarang begitu.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. So, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Mulai membantah. Saat kejadian pindah menegak biasa. Kejadian malah ketika menemukan senjata api lainnya. Mereka tambah nasib coba. Yang ketiga.
Something's not right.
Oh iya kah? Itu semua teman ada mendengar sampai penyedih menyuruh kalau saya menurut sebenarnya nggak bisa juga ya sebenarnya. Salah kan? Kamu pakai airan dulu. Menjaga pelanggan gagal untuk membacakan atau senjata apinya lainnya di bagian. Kami beberapa tembakan pertama kali sedangkan tembakan kedua sana. Didasarkan pada answer tidak ada yang ketiga tapi jangan. Oh, ini bukan air nih.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques, but now it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all
Dosa tembakan sudah ulang. Sebelum mengatakan bahwa dia bisa melakukan kasih sama bahwa closing terbiasa saja keluar. Dosa tembakan masih saja keluar. Ketiga. Salah. Dia bisa melihat bahwa orang yang mana kita misalkan cuma besar ini. Saya sedang betul. Bila kalau sampai di situ ada lagi sembunyi. Masa kejadian sebenarnya sebuah pesta. Juga tambah yang ini dong. Sehubungan dengan pesta Maria bukti yang berpengetahuan sampai adalah biasa menonton semua tamu dengan suara tembakan dari luar dan jika mereka membawa kalas yang ada di situ saja betul benar. Enggak, kapan jadi bawa pistol?
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the bank. However, in the end, he reconsidered and instead shared everything. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility. And
jika pejabat semua dengan suatu tembakan sebenarnya tidak mungkin dalam melakukan tiga tersebut. Jadi tak ada lakukan awal dikendalikan balas dan membawa senjata. Kemudian itu penyidikan dikendalikan Qiqi.
this assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Dalam mengetahui ini, pelaku sebenarnya menakutkan si pembunuh. Sehingga semua percaya kalau Callus yang menghabisi Jacques demikian habis sebenarnya.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a
but I think I agree with everything Navia just said.
Jangan tidak
In fact, there was nothing in her
Then, may I ask some questions?
Masih
In my opinion, 1. Do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid.
If you don't,
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If
Kami
we look up the
data
deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you describe, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court?
if he had testified that a person... I thought about this too. And the answer is actually pretty simple. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important... My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on...
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next...
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with the Spina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we... But what good would that do? How can a halt have this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice? But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot.
So, you mean to say... Your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
Bentar, aku ambil sesuatu dulu. Hai Bim, kenapa Bim? Bentar. Ya, hai juga Bim, kenapa? Ada apa? Udah sampai sini kah kamu? Kalau belum nanti ke spoiler ya. Aku udah ngasih spoiler alert ya, jadi jangan salahkan aku kalau ke spoiler. Aduh. Pokoknya enak nih duduknya nih. Udah nggak main 5 bulan, woi. Kenapa nggak main 5 bulan? Nggak tertarik main lagi kah? Aduh.
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes. As a champion duelist, I fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live, or if they're looking to... I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearance.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help it. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia.
It's no need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your... But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. How? Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyway.
It's timing. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived, but the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your...
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end, but aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations, right?
Destroyed by synth abuse. The people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to the many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming and whose image do you see? Is it a man named Vache?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard
Masa
of.
gitu? Ya, dari tadi nama Fasya belum dipakai.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Ini ke POV-nya kita berarti. Sedikit lagi di dalam. Ngangkut. Oh, ini buat ganti party, oke. Siapa yang diganti ya? Oh, yang ini sini. Oh, kalau lagi bukan di mana-mana kayak gini tampilannya ya. Oke. Itu nggak bisa dipakai semua. Siapa ya enaknya? Ini lu nggak bisa, karena ada limitnya. Pagi bang, pagi anak. Gak kena dong.
Stand with me. Water jet.
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
Jangan namat pintunya. Bukaannya. Ya ampun, kayak di mana gitu ya. Kayak lagi wisata gitu.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Bawah sih. Oh, enggak gitu. Ini sama kayak gimana sih? Nyelam pakai kokomi, feelnya beda. Enggak gitu. Nambah betul, kami tahu saya harus mengembang sekitar perkembangan sangat belum tahu. Ketika menyebutkan satu malah lagi buat. Salah, bukan itu maksudnya. Kenapa kokomi? Apa hubungannya dengan kokomi? Nggak ada kokomi ya. Berapa nih? Masukin air dikit naik ke atas ya. Oke. Ngerti sih sekarang kenapa kenapa nggak ada sistem oksigen. Soalnya kalau ada sistem oksigen kayak gini bakalan repot. Oh, muter sih tadi. Enak aja liatnya. Bukan mau ngapain kan? Ini btw MC masih 0 semua sih. Masih di put gak tuh? Nggak ada materialnya. Apa ya? Heart of Death coba. Heart of Death. Ada nggak yang kosong ya? Nggak ada. Anjir. Oh. Oh, nggak usah 2 setnya. Ini aja berarti arti baru. Ini bukan. Ini tahu sudah mati. Ini kan dia misalnya ya. Belum daripada dinaikin ya. Dua hydro. Enak aja lihatnya. Nggak mau dinaikin lagi. Mentok. Wih, bahaya amat kayak gitu. Siapakah yang akan ditemukan di sini? Oke. Sepertinya sudah ada yang menunggu kita di ujung. Makin lama makin dalam ya tempatnya ya.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
Kalau ketebak dia lagi sibuk tanggapi tuduhan aku.
That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the opera house and help Navia.
Gantian ya jadinya ya.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a the experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22,
Wah ampun, jadi
and 24 were just... Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try your
battle di air bosanin. Ya memang kurasa memang bukan untuk battle sih bawah air itu, untuk explore.
How can someone write something that terrible in such a matter of... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
Tujuan penelitian adalah untuk menolong kekasihnya yang telah bernama virgin.
So that's why he did all... Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over?
That's insane!
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
Bukan, dia penyelah.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these...
Iya, banyak laporan yang didatangi olehnya. Sebagainya tinggal di maju itu mungkin virus.
So that's it. Vache was no victim, but personally
kasus
took
sendiri
his
lah.
water and... No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water?
Jadi dari air jadi orang. Ya, salah juga sih kalau begitu. Ngapain dia mau orang-orang berbagi jadi lagi dari air jadi orang? Pasti masih ada kemajuan dekor.
In any case, Paimon will...
Mana warna baju itu? Oh, oke. Ibaratnya di dalam air tuh battle-nya bukan buat battle sih, tapi buat ngambil kemampuan kita di air nggak sih? Tapi eksplorasi seru. Oh, aku belum sentuh. Misalnya belum explore, aku baru full Archon quest-nya doang.
Whoa, there's so much synth here, and so many bottles of ingredients that clean the waters of the primordial. Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Whoa! There's even fruit flavored synth?
Ya, ini memang menjelaskan kalau mereka memposisikan di tempat ini.
Yep, it's super obvious.
Kamu ada juga semuanya depan empat lakukan dengan segala sesuatu. Menurut sampai nak berlalu semua kali banyak kali besar. Ini melengkapi tempat ini. Wih.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's father.
Kenapa harus dikasih dirinya?
Oh, this seems to be an investigation
Mungkin berhubungan
report
dengan
him.
kasusnya Qiqi.
Yep, it's about
Ini
finding someone
Callus
to
karena
assassinate Jacques and Callus.
karena mereka
Because of
nggak
a
bisa
lack
jaga
of confidence
sesuatu
that
sekarang
Jacques and
hanya.
this should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Iya. Apalagi tulis.
We still have not determined the exact content of the key. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely.
Kayaknya nggak bisa langsung pakai ya. Gue cara, wih lagi keluar kota, lagi dinas nih. Wih silakan. Enak dong, dapat uang jajan. Hati-hati aja kalau keluar ya.
Declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. They're all just so evil.
Berarti aku ada member kan? Oh biasa ya keluar kota. Keluar kota kemana Des? BTW. Ada yang nge-give kemarin si Cila kalau nggak salah. Oke, met anak-anak motor biasalah. Yuna diajak nggak?
Oh, look! There's an important looking basin over here, and it's full of water.
Misalnya teman dia.
That means this is where they make all the sin.
Ya semuanya.
And that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human.
Kalau pakai biasa jadi sin, kalau pakai biasa saja kamu bisa makan jenis yang wih ngeri amat ya. Kalau itu kamu langsung jenis sih. Sudah agak saja. Anda dapat menggunakan tombol sin untuk menggunakan untuk melakukan orang ngeri amat ya. Iya jelas ya kali orang ya jelas ya kali orang bawa 2 motor. Ya jelas ya kali seorang 2 motor ya pasti hati-hati Yuna ini dijaga loh Des. Baru sembuh. Aku nggak tahu kalau bawa 2 motor. Sarak buku. Ini jalannya belum. Aku tinggal di Pelangka. Pelangka tuh apa? Pelangka.
What's all this? What? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
Untuk cewek dong berarti. Ada nama juga.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names? Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearance and then they were turned into water and all the boxes of things?
Waduh.
Names. That means
Palangka. Oh, Palangkara. Oh. Aku nggak bayar kasih tuh nggak tahu jadinya. Oh, aku tinggal di Palangka. Oh. Hati aja. Betul ya. Enggak cuma kasih menemukan betul-betul seperti tidak semua kenal betul-betul. Mereka barangkali dapat menentukan bahwa tempat ini bukan tempat yang mereka. Palangkaraya. Palangkaraya bukan Palangkaraya ya, beda ya. Ya udah dadah sayang, dadah hati-hati Des.
we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Nervalet wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed it that way. Even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
Besok kita ajak minta ampun. Coba kita kesal lagi siapa masih bisa ketawa sesuatu.
Sure thing. Paimon won't admit.
Dan juga bunga dengan face share. Sudah. Ada yang belum? Ini sudah. Halo bang, halo Kubo. Bawa pulang kah? Buku sudah. Ini sudah. Apa lagi belum ya? Misah lagi, aku ragu kalau Paimon sama kita misah nih. Baru bangun tidur, ngantuk parah soal tadi. Tadi pulang jam berapa?
Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Aww. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so
Dia
sweet.
baru nama bayi. Bayi apa tuh? Nggak kebaca.
So many. A whole page's worth. But they're all crossed. The final name she Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son?
Apakah saya sudah lama banget sampai dia jadi anaknya? Weh, jauh amat. Nanti malam lagi, iya live lagi nanti malam.
And whose image
Balik ke sini
do you
lagi.
see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
Balik ke sini lagi.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone
Apa yang
I've
tidak
never
mungkin
even
ku
heard
kenal?
of.
I was waiting for you to
Langsung di sini nggak ada.
as expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalet.
Given
their confidence, I expect they...
Sekarang kita yang di bawah. Tadi kemarin kita yang di atas. Apa sih? Apa bukti yang mengadasi share? Buku harian lah.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Akhirnya bersuara MC-nya. Waduh.
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything. After your lover, Vinier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, you fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise,
Do you really think I wanted to do any
Berarti udah ngaku tuh.
attention to you? What for?
Berarti udah ngaku nih.
Have you ever paid attention to me?
Waduh.
Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me.
Mesti mata langsung tidur, waduh. Obat tidur dari khutbah langsung tidur ya.
They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it did well. Now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, you only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama.
Waduh.
Vinier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, but I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved.
Iya.
No matter.
Apa nih? Terus?
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that.
Ayo sudah ngaku sama sekali nih. Cile kena sial, iya kena tuduh. Kata Cile, loh, aku kenapa? Kok aku gitu? Kata Cilenya. Kata Cile gitu kan.
I spent my entire life living on pins and
Itu
needles.
soalnya only to get stabbed
by his.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain.
Don't touch me. Don't anybody come near me.
Aku sini kepadanya.
Yeah, please, yeah. Don't think badly of me.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no
Iyalah.
longer...
Fine by me.
Iyalah.
I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vache and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vinier. During an underwater expedition, Vinier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea.
Yeah.
Was dissolved in front of Vache as a result. Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vinier. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vache discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vache decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vache expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vache attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vache's machinations that thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances.
Tepuk tangannya kurang meriah.
The oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr.
Ya ampun, gacha stare lagi.
According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Mr. Vache guilty.
Guilty.
Guards, take Vache away.
Tapi ngeri sih kan, dia kan masih bawa botol itu ya, nanti itu kena.
With that, the serial
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit?
We have Navia bring the bad guy to... He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely...
Iya, terharu.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy.
Yeah. See, Papa?
Spina di Rosula.
Well, now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama?
That's
The
why
villain has
senang.
been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been... Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to.
Itu
So,
dua yang
if you'll
sama
excuse
itu
me...
kalau bilang saja ya pokoknya aku masih harus misi dulu.
Please wait just one moment, Mr.
Loh,
Tartaglia.
kenapa dicegat? Nggak boleh.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for...
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over...
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical. We now turn to the oratrice mécanique d'analyse code. According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal, guilty.
Lah.
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The oratrice actually returned.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui harbinger? Do you think the oratrice might have just convicted him on general...
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody.
Lah, ngamuk lah Cilde yang akan. Masih nggak mau pasti. Ngelawan maksudnya.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Waduh. Ngamuk ya. Kita tapi belum tahu Cilda kenapa. Masih belum terjawab itu pertanyaannya atau questnya. Oke, satu masalah selesai, tapi yang lain masih belum selesai. Jadi Power Ranger apa for Legacy. Iya, for Legacy. Waduh. Di apa nih? Launch attack. Bukan. Ya Bang, halo Zaki.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Waduh. Aduh, ada maksud untuk pasti itu. Mampir doang, takut nonton spoiler ya, nggak usah nonton, gak apa, absen aja. Karena namanya harus spoiler.
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the
kalau si foto sudah final, kenapa ada pengadilan deh?
all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Ya, kalau sampai akhir baru saja tidak tahu sepertinya pasti dasarnya ada Archon.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called...
My dearest citizens, did you really
kena sial dia, tapi aku nggak nyangka bakalan kayak gitu.
Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result? Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the oratrice.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement,
yang bener.
and Of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the... If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of everything he's done. Not to mention the danger he poses are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable. All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as... Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
Aduh, suara Jepangnya kayak mana tuh? Sepertinya seperti bahasa India untuk kamu.
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff. So
Waduh. Ya kena sial ya. Kena plunge attack sama Nouvelet.
Oh, Monsieur Nouvelet! That power you showed when you took
Menundukkan.
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course.
Ah, dia ini juga mencurigakan. Cilde, mana Cilde? Ah, hilang sudah. Gak bisa dipanjat juga. Oh, bisa nggak? Situ sama situ. Gak ada yang bisa diajak ngobrol ya. Aku kena mental. Ini masih belum ketebak sih ceritanya kayak apa nih Fontaine.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Lah, kabur.
Traveler! Hey, traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another...
No, wait! I just want to ask the traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first
Oh, dia mau ketemu ini.
I erased all records of that name. So...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Aku ketemu dia.
Really? You did? You sure?
Kita hubungan dengan
How could that be?
Aku ada hubungan dengan anggota.
The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like...
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he...
This request, is it worth as much to you as your love?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth it.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs? Very well. I will.
Emang kamu bukan human kah?
Waduh. I fear that.
I will go with him. You do not need to worry.
In that case, I shall leave.
Thank you.
Aduh. Ya, Nouvelet juga masih mencurigakan sih. Matanya mata primordial gitu. Bukan mata normal. Bukan mata manusia. Fontaine of Lucine.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Sebelumnya aku yang mengingat kepada Gimana? Ada lagi dia sana kenapa? Katanya kalau kita ke stream ini kita bisa minta ikut sama Al Pacino. Apa hubungannya?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing.
Vache.
Yes, that's it. So you heard it too.
Vinier, it's me. It's me, Vache. I'm here. I'm here. Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you.
Hey, wait. Be careful.
Aduh, ngapain nih? Kata Pak RT gang sebelah.
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache.
Vache, why did you come? Didn't I say you?
Begitu ada yang pengen berapa lama?
It's been more than 20 years. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept... I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know
tanpamu, ya
how I
ampun.
could... But Vache,
Kamu
if you
tanya
ask
padaku
me,
dia kalau lebih baik tanpa.
this world would be better. If not for you,
Kamu akan nama aku pasti di
I would
sana.
have finished my law degree and probably become a top. If not for you,
Nama aku bisa terkenal.
I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts and my work. If not for you,
If not for you.
I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old. It's all because of your selfishness, Vash.
You... Wait, you are not Vinier.
Eh?
You're right. I am not Vinier.
Vinier.
I am. Every woman who died by your hand. As our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea. And we were no longer... I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm AC.
Waduh, semuanya dong.
The only one I am not
Lah.
is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is...
She doesn't want to see you anymore. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you do
Nanti live apa bang? Belum tahu sih kalau malam, tapi maghrib nanti ada live streaming Staren seingat aku.
But did you ever consider whether
Seingat aku ya.
she'd want to see you do the things that you did?
Nah lo.
You are a liar,
Belum tahu.
a heartless murderer. The only thing you are not is Vinier's beloved.
Yang kamu adalah kaca.
From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's, she has had nothing.
Bahkan kalau kita tidak bertemu, kalau kita bersama dari awal, mereka mungkin mau menggunakan untuk mancing masalah sini. Benar juga.
No, yeah, she can't hate me.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real V. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy. Vache.
Waduh. Waduh. Mati dong. Apa? Belum baca langsung time skip. Halo Bang Absen, halo Jamal. Halo Bang Jamal. Habis dari mana tadi? Langsung ke di time skip nggak tuh? Aduh, part 3-nya ngapain ya berarti ya? Masih lanjut lagi ke situ berarti ya? Oh, kecil deh berarti ya?
Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Anjas, juga bisnis stres, kalau kaki sudah kasih rasa.
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Habis dulu, enak dulu siang. Berapa lama tuh?
It's a pleasure to see you.
Udah selesai Bang, selesai apa?
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon.
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held
Iya tahu, makanya.
no one was going to
Maksud aku yang bagian 3 nanti berarti kecil D ya kemungkinan ya. Kalau yang bagian 1 kan pengenalan dan ke Lenny Lenet kan, bagian 2 kan berfokuskan ke Navianya. Ketiga bagian 3 berarti ke kecil D-nya kayaknya. Dan mungkin di 41.
This time though,
Atau 42 sekalian ya, nggak tahu juga ya.
even many people from the court all attended.
Kalau update 40 ini cuma sampai 2 memang.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle.
That
Katain tua
blasted
bang.
stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness. To be fair though, it was a really flattering feature. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the series.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you...
Now that's another thing to look forward to.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Cloran...
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clorand gave testimony on my father's. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being...
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clorand wasn't actually a bad person.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness.
Dan mungkin akhirnya pelan-pelan akan hilang dari ingatan orang.
Actually, there's still...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended, and on top of that, just how much...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too. We also think Calico...
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather...
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining no...
Ya kak hujan terus kak. Weh. Nanti nambah 1.3. Oh iya, kemungkinan iya sih. Kan ada waktu aku soalnya.
This is where my father's grave is.
Huh? There's someone...
Siapa ayo? Ya memang niat aku tuh mau tanggal 1.3 nanti live. Kan jam 6:30 ya. Iya sih.
Isn't that Nervalet?
Loh.
Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say... I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to...
In that case, I will stop apologizing.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Nervalet.
Mengerti tentang... Ya kayaknya Nervaletnya bukan manusia deh.
In any case...
Aku curiga.
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a quest. There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life.
Weh, selesai apa? Halo Kin, kenapa? Kamu udah selesai juga kah?
It's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could, which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful... I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more, but Mr. Callis proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have been solved to this day.
Itu cuma ngincar internet sama Primo.
Mr.
Itu tuh
Callis
maksudnya
made the
apa?
choice he did for his daughter.
Jangan spoiler
his
quest ya.
associates, for many people completely unrelated to it. And in the end, from a certain perspective, a justice that's higher than... So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness. That high and mighty chair in the opera epicles indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your heart.
I'm sorry. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is...
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
So Navia and Nova, let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're...
Jangan ganggu dulu kata Paimon. Oke, kemana. Waduh, langsung tercerah tuh.
Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before.
Biasanya sih coba terbang ya kalau di depan aku kan. Gak bisa nikmatin quest karena kebelet gacha lainnya lah. Lainnya kenapa gacha lainnya? Gak apa-apa sih. Emang kurang primo gem ya? Ya benar percaya.
Anyway, Nervalet is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit?
Ini di mana? Oh, di sini.
Paimon's really...
What are you saying, Pai?
Well, aren't you not supposed to fly around someone?
Huh?
Hey, traveler! Why did you mess with...
Tuh. Wait, 80 cek lah, 80 belum dapat.
What are you saying, Pai?
Well...
Huh?
Hey, traveler!
Belum dapat. Tapi red on kan? Emang udah gacha berapa kali di 40 di bannernya Lenny maksudnya.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite?
We ran into Navia on the streets today.
I see.
Well, it's pretty...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine. And it would be...
Oh, ini ya, oke. Biasanya kan setiap abis Archon quest selalu ada banyak pertanyaan gini. Tentang saudaraku, waduh. Udah bah, semalam dapat speedrun Archon quest cuma buat gacha lah. Tapi ceritanya paham kan?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vache and his ilk only learned of its nature and
rat on tapi gak PT 80.
There used to be a special sea on the surface.
Tapi dari berapa PT-nya kemarin?
Different from that of the sea we know today.
Tapi dulu pernah ada planet ini ya. Dibilangnya planet ini ya, bukan bumi ini karena ini bukan bumi. Akhirnya sampai di dunia laut biasa.
Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could...
So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet. What Vache discovered must have been some kind of special cave.
So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neverlet.
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, to be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around
iya sih,
people
masih banyak yang belum terungkap di Genshin. Kalau kata detektif iya. Dari 38 sob gacha, di 58 sampai dapat Lenny. Oh, sekarang udah dapat di 80, berarti sekitar 22 kali gacha. Lah iya.
Is there anything else? That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away. Does that appropriately summarize?
That's right! It was Lenny that told us back then.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to... Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words, the former Hydro Archon.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon?
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be speaking of the prophecy. Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, She has
Kapan
been
Star
collecting
mungkin nanti
information and
malam.
intelligence from across
Siapa
Teyvat
sangka
for this
ternyata
purpose.
dalangnya pamannya Nevia. Emang itu paman? Kan lebih ke teman gak sih?
If the
Paman deh.
rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she
Is there anything else you'd...
Cilde
My
kenapa?
apologies. My investigation has still not reached. However, I still believe the judgment of the oratories.
But you also said you thought he would.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses, which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like...
So when Lenny told us that he heard a human voice from the room.
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove... In any case, I am inclined to believe that the oratrice does have a methodology all its own. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to... While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly come...
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything
Apa tuh?
else you'd like
Dia
to
nggak
ask
perlu
me now?
ngasih awalnya juga orang asing. Ya kan bukan pamannya orang asing kan, cuman karena udah deket jadinya gitu. Kakak aku mana? Ini kan Lumin ya.
Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler.
Dia nggak tahu menau mah.
I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epicles. Is there anything else you...
Ya ampun, nggak ada jawaban apa-apa dong. Gitu deh. Nggak ada bahasa apa-apa dong. Ya, tapi memang seharusnya dia nggak tahu apa-apa sih.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. It will soon be
Mungkin ini
time for
pasti
me to
Farina
leave
harusnya ada
this
jawabannya.
blissful tranquility
Kalau ini
behind.
game porno bukan.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you
Mana masa kayak gini porno bukan lah.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work.
All right. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
Kayaknya dari tadi dia Paiman. untuk ngepending kamera ke atas nih. Iya. Ya kan, bagus loh ada pendingnya begini. Dulu nggak kayak gini, dulu tulisannya pas sudah selesai. Nah dulu pas kayak gini baru muncul. Bagus. Itu sesuatu yang nggak penting tapi penting gitu. Catherine, oh baru kebuka daily Fontaine ya, oke. Gue malah kaget kenapa sih opsi malah default bukan Farina. Iya kan? Ya karena kita belum ketemu sama Farina sih. Mungkin nanti ada dua kali ya. Harusnya nanti ada pertanyaan kayak gitu juga pas di Farina. Harusnya. Kalau dilihat dari questnya itu monster 3 bagian, Leo 3 semua ya. Enggak sih, Semeru 5 sih actually. Nggak tahu Fontaine sampai berapa babnya, bagiannya, maksudnya bagiannya iya. Semeru 5. Iya, Semeru 5 kan. Inazuma 4 sama pembukaannya lah. Kalau ini Fontaine kan baru 2 nih. Iya. Bukan game porno ini game lucu. Apa ini? Oh.
Let the magic begin.
Oh.
I wonder who this gift could be from.
Oh, idol tuh bisa ngedrop item juga ternyata. Oh, baru tahuan nih. Buka sekalian deh mumpung di deket ya. Oke. Bagus. Paling nggak di 2 bagian ini Fontaine bagus lah. Nggak mengecewakan lah. Dan bagian 2 lebih cepet ya. Ini aku level 3 jam selesai loh. Yang bagian pertama lebih lama. 4 jam aku nyelesainnya. Sambil live-nya. Ini enggak. Ini 3 jam. Lebih pendek berarti. bisa diambil ya. Catherine, kamu di situ. Gue malah kecewa sama Furina. Gue kira bosan karena terlalu biasa aja. Ternyata emang kayak bocah sifatnya. Ya kebalikan dari Nahida lah ya. Nahida yang badannya bocil gitu. Kebalikan lah. Tapi dibalik sifatnya yang begitu, kurasa ada sesuatu yang ditutupi sih. Ibaratnya tuh Furina tuh kayak ini loh. Kayak orang yang terlihatnya happy padahal di belakangnya dia menderita gitu. Dia kayak menutupi sesuatu gitu. Dan apa itu? Ya kita belum tahu. Mana sok asik lagi. Ngatain sok asik gak tuh? Iya kan menurut aku sih gitu. Halo Catherine, ada juga kamu di sini ternyata. Saya lagi Moonechan juga katanya. Iya iyalah, memang ada lagi kenapa lagi? Ya sih bantu bisa saja dan baik lagi semuanya harus langsung punya. Reaksinya udah beda ya. Udah beda ya kayak Paimon sama MC-nya ya menanggapi Catherine ya. Beda kalau waktu di Sumeru kan kelihatan kaget kan. Oh ternyata ini gitu. Oh deket sini enak dong. Ini deket berarti ya kalau mau mengcrafting. Beberapa bahagia padahal sad boy why. Nah sampai jam berapa bang? Bentar lagi sih selesai kayaknya. Kenapa? Sad boy sad girl nggak sih kan cewek Furina. Oh kamu craftingnya di sini. Maksudnya dia di dalam toko. Oke. Oke deh. Explore malam deh ini. Nanti yang belum kebuka satu daerah lagi ya sini ya. Oke. Oh ini peta bawa airnya ya. Oh iya banyak ya. Banyak yang bawa airnya ya petanya ya. Walah. Di situ gitu. Oke. Beberapa bayi ada set boy. Sampai sini ya. Sini udah nggak bisa lagi. Beda-beda. Beda-beda. Oke. Tergantung kursornya di mana ya. Ini jadi nggak ada kan. Oke. Ya oke. Baru masuk Fontaine dikasih quest wall kayak arena. Bau-bau jadi babu Poseidon. Poseidon itu yang mana ya? Baru masuk Fontaine dikasih quest wall kayak arena. Yang mana questnya? Aku belum ngerjain world quest sama sekali sih di sini. Di Fontaine ini. Baru buka. Ini aja buka map kotanya aja baru hari ini. Berapa? 7. 16. Oh lumayan juga 16 ya. Dapetnya. Belok deh, oke. Oh tuh, ada di laut. Pas mau buka teleport tiba-tiba ketiga questnya gue. Tiba-tiba ketiga questnya nggak gue lanjutin sih orang males. Soalnya aku nggak ada explore laut soalnya. Pokoknya aku baru fokus Archon questnya aja. Aku belum explore bawah-bawahnya. Sama sekali belum nih. Baru tadi nyemplung ke air. Jadi aku belum nemu tuh. Nanggung ya, bawa deh, terusin deh. Yang selesai udah selesai. Sudah selesai. Aku tersesat. Ya betul ke sini. Kan di atas deh. Akun questnya iya udah. Bagian 2 ya, bagian masih ya jelas masih to be continue lah. Pasti ada bagian, paling nggak ada bagian 3 lah. Tapi ku rasa bakalan lebih dari 3 bagian sih. Kalau monster Liyue kan 3 bagian tuh. Pamit dulu Bang Yoimiya, marah-marah lah. Kenapa marah-marah? Silakan, aku juga mau stop streaming juga kok. Tak lagi. Aku juga mau stop streaming juga kok. Nanti kan jam habis maghrib live streaming Starel soalnya. Serius? Iya serius. Udah selesai. Udah selesai kok. Udah nggak ada akun questnya. Ntar malu ngapain? Ya mungkin antara Genshin atau Starel sih. Kalau Starel mungkin gacha Kafka. Kalau Genshin mungkin gacha Yelan di akun ini. Sama event lah paling nggak. Kalau di akun ini ya. Kalau di Starel gacha Kafka lah. Sama ya paling ya sehari-harian lah. Ya event ding. Starel event belum selesai aku. Event yang kayak mining di Harvest Moon BTN itu kan. Belum tuh. Bisa aja live-nya. Kenapa bisa? Live-nya Starel itu dia ini live streaming nobar aja abis maghrib dia 18.30 saya ingat aku. Apa besok? Setahu aku hari ini deh. Aduh, coba tak cek ya Starel ya. Udah tahu aku sih hari ini nanti habis jam ini. Habis maghrib dia tuh live-nya.
If you're not sure what to do next, how about I take you on a walk?
Kepencet. Community. Tanggal 18 kan? Iya, nanti malam. Jam 18.30 nobarnya. WK tempat di anu Fontaine yang gacha star. Makanya. Aku pas yang bagian satu main ngeliat, wah gacha Starel, dapetnya biru ya. Tipe tour boleh nanti malam kalau misalnya mainnya Genshin. Iya tadi. Pertama kali ngeliat, wah gacha Starel ini. Ini dapetnya biru tapi ya memang biru terus sih soalnya kan. Tempat anu, itu menghindari menghindari spoiler. Nanti live mau berapa jam lagi bang ya? Live-nya sebentar aja. Maksudnya kayak biasa sih. Paling Starel tuh sampai jam berapa? Paling biasanya sih live streaming Starel tuh sejam, cuman mungkin stop dulu baru lanjut lagi mungkin jam 9 kayak biasa mungkin. Jadi live-nya 3 kali. Langsung dejavu, iya. Yang main Starel, waduh ini gacha Starel nih. Yang nggak main Starel, oh biasa aja gitu. Ini tempat anu gitu. 3 kali ya berarti ditampilin ya kalau sudah nyelesain 2 bagian. Yang pertama buat itu, yang kedua buat itu sama itu dipakainya. Berarti kan ini kan berarti cerita Fontaine ini yang belum terungkap itu kan berarti ya masalah itu udah selesai lah ya. Tapi yang belum terungkap tuh itu masih ada hal yang belum terungkap. Udah jauh makanya. Aku telat 2 jam doang, telat dikit gak ngaruh di. Nggak apa-apa, cuman ini akun quest kok. Emang akun quest aku nggak ngarep banyak nonton sih. Malah sebaiknya nggak banyak nonton. Supaya fokus ke cerita. Kalau banyak nonton kan jadi banyak chat, nanti nggak fokus ke ceritanya. Nggak apa-apa, memang yang nonton harus sedikit sih. Malam baru rame, nggak apa-apa kalau malam. Jadi bisa baca chat kalian kan kalau nggak fokus. Kalau nggak fokus ke gamenya. Kalau main santai gitu. Anunya nggak tuh aneh, masa si Anu bilang Anu tapi anunya Anu. Nah iya. Aku pun tidak ngerti maksudnya apa tapi iyain aja. Jadinya gitunya begitu, ternyata begitu. Wah ternyata plot twistnya gitu ya misalnya. Itu untuk menghindari spoiler. Kasian loh, aku termasuk orang yang nggak mau kenal spoiler. Ibaratnya kalau udah kenal spoiler tuh kayak gini, ini sesuai ini gitu kan. Jadi kayak nggak ada motivasi main lagi atau motivasi cari tahu sendiri lagi. Soalnya Genshin tuh game cerita. Kalau ceritanya di spoilerin ngapain main gitu loh kan menurut aku. Kalau gamenya game-game ya maybe kayak apa sih, game-game yang kompetitif ya biasanya nggak pakai cerita kan. Males bang, makanya gue nonton pas udah selesai. Oh iya nggak apa-apa, memang biar ini aja, biar apa namanya, biar nggak ke spoiler apa, biar ngeliat sendiri kan. Dan juga biar aku fokus ke cerita. Undertale kapan lagi bang? Nggak tahu ya, mungkin Kamis depan, tapi aku nggak janji sih, belum tahu Undertale kapan lagi. Kemarin tuh sampai mana? Undertale kemarin sampai mana ya? Sampai lupa aku sampai mana. Oh sampai yang ditusuk-tusuk sama Guardian itu loh. Saran 1-3 bela-belain gak berasa biar gak kena spoiler cerita dan emang kalau cerita di spoilerin kayaknya enggak deh. Kalau Genshin sih setahu aku enggak di spoilerin ya. Kalau dari yang aku ikutin enggak ada yang nge-spoiler cerita. Paling ke spoiler tuh dari meme. Nah ya kalau dari meme ya tuh kadang ke spoiler, tapi kalau dari cerita enggak. Paling yang di leak itu biasanya ya gameplay, fitur, arte. Itu gitu enggak apa-apa sih kalau aku sih. WK tapi pacar gue kasih spoiler terus lah. Kesel dong dia, nanti dia nggak motivasi main Starel, main Genshin lagi nanti. Atau Starel gitu. Karena itu game cerita, nggak boleh di spoilerin. Udah punya pacar, aku belum. Kapan ya aku punya ya? Aduh, ya udah kalau gitu makasih ya. Aku stop streaming ya. Makasih nih buat siapa nih, masih ada nih. Ada Kin, Kubo, tadi ada Crimson juga, ada Zene juga, ada Jamal juga, Qiqi juga. Ada Ade, tapi Ade cuma datang sebentar sih. Ada Yune juga. Ada Zaki juga. Qiqi gimana bang keadaannya, masih dibully? Qiqi tuh lucu kok. Buktinya kalau pada dapat Qiqi pada ketawa kan berarti lucu. Aduh, nggak tahu dianya nggak marah malah ngajak explore Fontaine lah. Berarti dia nggak peduli cerita. Enak loh punya pacar atau pasangan yang main game yang sama. Bisa main bareng itu salah satu impian dan cita-citaku sih. Bisa main sama ya pasangan lah, pacar lah, apa siapa gitu kayak. Main game bareng gitu. Enak loh tuh salah satu cita-cita dan impianku. Bagi-bagi dong tipsnya gimana supaya dapet. Ya udah, aku stop streaming ya. Sama ini tamat mandi yang belum mandi, sholat yang mau sholat. Sampai jumpa lagi nanti jam 6:30. Ya, makasih Kin, Kubo sama yang lain-lainnya kalau masih ada. Sampai jumpa lagi di live selanjutnya. Cari di random co-op. Gitu. Mungkin aku harus niatin kali. Pinjam Cila buat jadi pasang. Pinjem, jangan pinjem lah. Kalau bisa permanen kenapa pinjem? Tapi kayaknya Cila nanti malam gak bakal ada lagi deh. Karena dia lagi itu. Yaudah, makasih ya Kubo sama Kin ya, dan juga yang lainnya kalau ada yang menyimak di belakang. Sampai jumpa lagi di live selanjutnya. Selamat istirahat dan selamat mandi ya. Sampai jumpa. Dadah. Ketemu lagi nanti habis maghrib ya. Kalau nggak sibuk. Oke, yaudah. Aku stop streaming, makasih udah nontonin walaupun ini cuman cerita doang. Stop streaming kalau gitu ya. Stop streaming 5 4 3 2 1. Dadah.